Hello friends and welcome back to my channel Innovate Yourself. My name is Ashish Sani and in today's session we will write a first program to upload the real-time data to the internet. So in short you can say we are going to start with a first program for Internet of Things using NodeMCU. So now we are having the program for a NodeMCU to upload the data from your soil moisture sensor. So we are going to read the data from soil moisture sensor and accordingly we will upload that data on the channel which we have just created. So for that, firstly you need to install this, which is esp8266wifi.h, which is a header file. And if in case you are already having it, then there is no problem. But if in case you are not having this on your Arduino ID, then let me show you how you will be able to install this. So for that, just go to sketch, go to include library and then click on manage library. So just click on this. So it will open up this window and it will take a while for that. After that we will be able to search for ESP8266 Wi-Fi and further we will install it so that we can use it in our program. So it's done. Now let's try it. So ESP8266 Wi-Fi. So here you have to click on this option, which is ESP8266 Wi-Fi built in by this. So just click on this and just install it. So in my case it is already installed, so it is not showing me any option. But if in case you are installing it for the first time, then you have to install this and it will give you one option in here to install it. So you have to just install it like that. And now close this because I have already installed on my system. So firstly you have to write this line, which is include the header file, which is ESP8266 Wi-Fi. So why we are going to use it in here, that I will show you. But before that, let me just add a few lines. And in that few lines, your first step is to connect your NodeMCU to internet. So to connecting your NodeMCU to internet, you need two things. The first one is the SSID and the second one is the password, so that you can connect your NodeMCU to the Wi-Fi, or you can say to the router which you are having on your workplace. So we will be writing for that. So in that case you have to write these two lines, const, which is a constant, so that you cannot change these values by mistake. So in that case you are using this SSID as this value and password as this value. So whatever is the SSID and password for your Wi-Fi, you have to specify that. So this is the Wi-Fi name, so this is the password for that. So just write that. And after that I am writing two more things. The first one is the server. The server is the website where I am going to send the data, or you can say where I am going to upload the real-time data coming from my soil moisture sensor. So the server is api.thingspeak.com. So this is the website where I am going to send the data using the API. So that's why it's written API. And with that we have to specify the API key, because API key is the unique identification for my channel, and in my case I am using the right API key. So I'm going to specify the right API key here. So for that, you know how to get the right API key. Just go to the website, go to API key, and in here just copy this right API key, copy this and just paste it here. So I'm just pasting it here. After that you are done with these four steps, and after that your next step is to connect your NodeMCU to your Wi-Fi. So for that your next step is to just use this step, which is Wi-Fi client space client. So Wi-Fi client is coming from this header file which we have included in the starting, which will create a client for you, because right now my NodeMCU will work as a client which will request the server to upload some values on the website, or you can say on the channel which I have just created, and accordingly it will check for the API key, so that it can identify that this is the right person, this is the authorized person or you can say this is the authorized client which is sending some request to upload the data. So accordingly you will be able to upload the data. So for that you have to create this instance which is a client, so that I can upload the data using this client instance. And after that you have to come inside the setup function, and inside the setup function I'm going to use all the tasks which is to be done only once, and the task which is to be done only once is the connecting of internet, right? So connecting the NodeMCU to the internet is the one-time step, so I will write it inside my setup function, and accordingly we will also write the pin, and the pin we are connecting to soil moisture sensor which will read the values from the land for the moisture content. So for that, firstly I am using the serial monitor to just display all the values coming from the NodeMCU, or you can say coming from my soil moisture sensor, so that I can upload it there. And also we can display that whether we are connected to the Wi-Fi or not, because in most of the cases you are not able to connect to the Wi-Fi and you are not able to check that whether the NodeMCU is connected to Wi-Fi or not. So in that case I will use these commands to display that as well. So for that my first step is serial.begin, and within that bracket I have used the baud rate as 115200. So this is the baud rate, and this is also the by default baud rate of your ESP8266 Wi-Fi module. So that's why I'm using this baud rate, and accordingly I will use this baud rate in the serial monitor as well, so that my system and my NodeMCU can communicate with each other, and accordingly NodeMCU will display some values on my monitor screen. So accordingly I will just display those values. After that I'm just printing the first step, which is connecting to SSID. So I have to connect my NodeMCU to the Wi-Fi. So I am using this command to display that the process of connecting of NodeMCU to the Wi-Fi, or you can say to the internet, has initiated. So in that case I am just displaying this message connecting to SSID. So whatever is the SSID name for your Wi-Fi, so it will display that, and after that you will send a command to connect your NodeMCU to the internet, or you can say to the Wi-Fi. So for that Wi-Fi dot begin, and within that bracket just write SSID comma password. So these are the SSID and password using which your NodeMCU will be able to connect to internet. So we will be using this, and after that we are just checking for the status that whether our Wi-Fi is connected to internet or it is still processing. So for that I am using this while loop, which is a kind of an infinite loop until your Wi-Fi is not connected to internet. So in that case I am just checking Wi-Fi dot status, opening the bracket and closing the bracket. So I am just checking if my Wi-Fi is not connected to internet. In that case it will just print this dot, and if in case it is connected it will just exit the while loop and accordingly follow up the rest of the steps. And after that your next step is to just display that you have connected to the Wi-Fi. So I'm just displaying the message as Wi-Fi connected, and after that you have to use the pin mode of A0 comma input. And I think I do not need to explain it again because we have done this already in the previous example. So if you do not know what is this, you can refer to the previous video. And for your information I will tell you that this is an analog sensor which is going to read the values from your soil moisture sensor. So it will just read the values, so that's why I'm just declaring it as an input pin. So for that I have just used this, and after that our next step is to just read the values and continuously uploading the real-time values to the internet. So for that I'm coming inside the loop so that I can repeat the process again and again. And after that my first step is to read the data. So reading the data will be using this line which we have already done as well in the previous session. So integer space moisture is equals to analog read within bracket A0. So it will read the values from A0 and accordingly store the values coming inside this variable moisture. So it will store that, and after that we are going to connect our client to the server, so that when the client is connected to the server, so here a client is the NodeMCU which is reading the value from your soil moisture sensor and accordingly sending a request to the server, and your server is the thingspeak website where we are uploading the data using the channel which we have just created. So we are just uploading the data. So for that, firstly, our first step is to make the connections between your client and the server. So client.connect within bracket server comma 80. So I'm just using it with if statement. So if in case my client is connected, then only you will be able to send the data to the channel which we have just created. And if in case you are not connected, you will not be able to send any of the data. So when you are connected, let's go inside. Your task is done, and your first step is to create this link. So in this link, what you're using is you're using the API key, which is the right API key which we have defined here, that this is the right API key using which I'll be able to upload the data. And after that, I am appending the rest of the values, and my rest of the values is and ampersand field 1. So ampersand field 1 is showing you that you're going to upload the data which is here inside your moisture, which is stored inside, that will be stored on this field, which is field 1, which we have created on a channel which we have created today. So we are just uploading the data and we are just converting it into a string, because to append the data we need a string type of a data, because strings can concatenate. So I'm using that, and after that I'm just writing slash r slash n slash r slash n. So we are just giving it a 2-line space so that it can read the data very properly. And after that, your next step is to upload the data using this link, because this link will tell you that what data you are going to send and where you are going to send that data using the API key which I have specified here. So this is the link for that, and after that my client will comes into action, because here in the beginning we have connected a client to the server. So client and server are connected now. Now client can communicate with server. So it can send the request to the server and accordingly follow up the rest of the steps. So client.print. So it will write the first line, get, update, HTTP. So get and post, there are two methods. So we are using the get method because there is no secret type of a data which we are sending, or the data which we have to hide from some other person. So in that case I'm using the get, because get will definitely display you some values when you are trying to access this type of a method, which is a get method. But if in case you are using the post method instead of this get method, then your data which you are sending or uploading will be treated as a secret type of a data. So it will not be shown to all the person, all the members. So in that case you can use any of it. And after that you are telling that you want to update the data. So on the channel you are updating the data, you are sending the values again and again on the same channel. So in short, you are just updating the values on the channel. And the protocol which you are going to use here is the HTTP type of protocol. So you are just writing this. After that, in the next line you are just sending the next data, which is host API. So whatever is the host, so my host is api.thingspeak.com, so I'm writing that. After that, connection, so it will be a closed type of a connection. So when you are sending the data and when you're done with that, you can close the connection as well. After that, x-thingspeak API key. So you are just sending the API key right now, so you can identify to which channel you want to upload the data. So for that you have given the API key, and after that you have to write this line as it is. And after that you have to write this line for content hyphen length. So you are just sending the content length, the whatever is the length of your content, accordingly you will use the data. So like I am storing the string inside post str, so whatever is the length of my post str will be sent first, so none of my data will get lost, or the client has to wait for the rest of the data if in case the length is greater than the length of the string which you are sending. So just send the length for that, and after that you have to send the link, which is post str. So you are accordingly sending the link, and after that you will be able to upload the data. So these are the lines which we are using to upload the data to our thingspeak website. So this is the way how you can upload the data, and after that you can use these lines as well. So in here I am going to use my data which I am reading from my soil moisture sensor, and accordingly I'm just converting it in the form of a percentage, so that I can accordingly display on my serial monitor that what is the percentage of my moisture that I'm going to display here. So accordingly you can use it. and just display it on a serial monitor. And after that, when you're done with all the steps, all the uploading of data, you have to stop this so that your data could be uploaded successfully on the website. So in that case, I'm writing client.stop, and after that I'm just displaying this message so that I can tell the serial monitor or tell the user who is using this that you have to wait. After that you will be able to send the next value. So we have to wait here to upload the next value, because thingspeak usually takes 20 seconds to upload the next value on the thingspeak website. So if in case your internet connection is very fast or it's very good, so if in case your internet connection is pretty well to work, in that case you will be able to read the next value within 20 seconds. And if in case your internet connection is slow, then it may take more time to upload the data on your website. So internet connection should be there. So this is the complete program to upload the data on your website. Now let's do one thing. Let's upload this code on my NodeMCU so that I can accordingly connect to the internet, and further I can upload the data coming from my soil moisture sensor. So for that, just go to tools and just select the board, which is NodeMCU, which is already connected, which is already selected. And after that you have to select the port. Like, there is no port showing in my screen, so the port is not showing. So let's connect my NodeMCU to my system so that I can upload the program. Now let's connect my NodeMCU to the system so that I can further write the program. So I have connected my NodeMCU. Now we have connected the NodeMCU to my system. Now let's select the tool and select the port number, which is COM7. So it is already selected as well. And now just upload the program. So just click on this. So we are done with the uploading. Now let's see. So for that, firstly you have to change it to 115 to 00. So I think we have done the delay in opening the serial monitor. So I think my first value is already sent. So in that case, here you can see moisture content in soil in percentage is equals to 100. So it is waiting for the first value to send, and after that it will read for the next value. And now let's do one thing. Let's go to the website, and accordingly we will check that whether our values are being uploaded on system or not. So for that, just so this is my website, and it is taking some time. So here you can see you have got your first value, which is the first entry, and here you're getting the value as 1023, because right now we are not using any soil moisture in here. We are just putting it like this, and now it's time to just dip it inside any field or any soil which you are having right now. So just dip it inside that, and accordingly we will see the change in the value. So let's just insert it inside the mud or any of a soil. So let's do that. So now I'm just inserting the lead of my soil moisture sensor inside the mud or soil. So let's insert it and see the change in the value. So let's see the change in the value, and accordingly we'll check that the change in the value is high or low. So accordingly we'll check that. So here you can see you're getting a little bit change in the values from 1024 to the value 189. So there is a bit change in the value when you have just inserted your lead of soil moisture sensor inside the sand. So this is the way how you are going to get the values. And like here you can see you have got one another value, and which is a bit more than the previous value, which is 192 right now. And also you can see it is showing you rest of the values as well. Like firstly it is the moisture content, then the time and date of the uploading of this data on the channel which you are using right now. So in this way you can just upload the data, and accordingly you can see the difference in all the values, and accordingly you can do the rest of the operations as well. And what are the rest of the operations and how you can do that we will see in the upcoming sessions. But for now this is it, and I hope everything was very clear to you. But still, if you are facing any of the difficulties understanding the concept which I have shown you today, then don't hesitate, just leave a comment below in the comment section so that I can resolve all your issues at the earliest. And if you have liked this video, then you can click on the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please click on the subscribe button so that you do not miss any of my videos. And also if you want to suggest me some kind of a videos that I can make for you, then you can suggest me in comment section as well, so that I can accordingly make some of the videos of your kind related to the sensor or related to the device which you want me to make for you. So you can comment me for that. And till then, bye bye, and thanks for watching this video.